Welcome to Outside the Box. I'm your host, Margot. You're tuned into the Origins of a Siren. I know that we have been covering the CIA and its true reason for its existence, as well as its sub-projects that in theory, feel like it was kind of more of a trial and error type of forensic science or whatever type of CIA thing that you need to call it, that they needed to figure out exactly what it is they needed to do for the CIA and government services, however you want to put it, to be ran as smoothly as possible. So we're going to take a break from that and we're going to go over the origin of a siren. I love Greek mythology. I don't know about you guys, but I really do. But in Greek mythology, so the 7th century BC before Christ, sirens were depicted as a human-headed bird. As we moved forward, this is going to be kind of a short episode as well, but as we move forward to the medieval period, which is 1400 to 1500 AD, AD meaning CE, current era, which would be exactly what it was, the medieval period. That was the transition period from the human-headed bird to the human-headed fish. So during this time, the era was viewed as the Dark Ages. So this is when I feel like it was an evolution for humanity. So it's like, okay, the Black Plague came, right? So this is like this major disease, however, whatever you want to put it. So I feel like humanity, when we say no one is perfect but God, but no one is perfect. So of course we have all these human issues, right? Whether it's mental disability, disabilities in general, just, things that we go through. The flu, just regular sicknesses, diabetes, this, that, whatever. These are like human issues, right? If we want to put it like that. It sounds kind of weird. It's like, is there really superheroes? Is there? Is the thing. I think it might be. But human issues. So that's sickness, mental illness, weight problems, so on and so forth. And then we can always go to, well, it's because of the things that we eat. Well, we're not superheroes. We have to eat food in order to survive, right? And to keep our health and strength up. So during this period, it was called the Dark Ages, but it was also a time of immense transition, including the rise of universities as well as Gothic architecture. So like I said, humanity is on the rise. We're evolving. Of course, it was the rise of education. And of course, we needed architecture. We needed homes to live in, so on and so forth. We do need a roof over our heads. We can't just be sleeping outside, right? So when we think of sirens and then we move on to mermaids. So this is a depiction of almost like the ideal woman during this time. Soft-spoken, we think singing like a bird, and I'll get to that. Singing like a bird, but we're also depicted as cunning and like cutthroat, right? Because we're always wanting to gossip and we're always wanting to do this thing. So the human-headed bird, which is the head of a woman with a bird body, right? So we want a soft-spoken woman. And when we think of birds, of course, we have the other ones. That could be like the split personality, right? We have the beautiful birds who's singing to their children or just singing while they're cleaning or in the shower or just whatever. Just that voice to lure you in, right? That's inviting. And then there's the other side of us, whether it's like the crazy side, we can just go to the current era, like the baby mama side or mama bear, however you want to put it as far as that part. And then we have the mermaid, who is a fish. So again, we're evolving. So it's like, okay, so is this like symbolism for the amniotic sac? Of course, it takes a man and a woman to procreate and create these beautiful babies and these children for our future, but it takes two to tango. And then you have, of course, your, if we want to get down to biology, of course, the sperm has to swim and fertilize the egg, and then, we get this baby. So then we have the siren mermaid kind of like coming in and merging in together, right? Okay, so let's get to a little weirder side of this. So we really don't think, we're like, okay, so before Christ, right? So who was really here? Like, you know what I mean? If it was one man, and we always use this term, so we can kind of integrate it in it. It's so weird. It's like beyond me. So it's like, if you were the last man on earth, I would never, So it's like, was there really one man on earth? And to think of this type of thing, they have these human urges. I mean, we want to be fulfilled in all types of ways and aspects, if you know what I'm saying. So it's like, okay, so was there really bestiality? We want to mark this term. It's horrible. But it's like, okay, so did this really happen? Because just like evolution as far as homes or education or technology or whatever we learn, we had to evolve from way before Christ. So energy, maybe our cells and our brains, or however, with the first humanoid or human person, I mean, he wasn't all there. This is just really thinking outside of the box. So it's like, I'm having these urges and I know these things. It's just some things that we're born naturally with, which is the urge to be intimate, right? So it's like, could this really have happened? So then we get these mythological creatures like the Minotaur, the Centaur, Medusa. Were these people really whatever they felt like they were doing to satisfy themselves? Then I know it's a horrible thing to say, but bestiality is frowned upon. It's not like, oh yes, this is what we need to do. But then to cut that sexual part off, it's a spiritual thing as well. So we end up breaking off into these different cultures and these different types of religions, right? So when we either come one with God, we're like really secure in ourselves. This is it. This is me. Or you have the Hindu or Buddhist part of it. It's like, okay, are you a lady tiger or king of the jungle? Meaning king of your realm, king of your family, king of your job, whatever you're doing. You are like Mufasa right now, right? Or one with the snake, you're still very cunning, you're still like very sneaky. However you feel like you're spiritual, your spiritual animal. So there's that aspect, and of course there's the other, that's before Christ, which would be kind of like a normal way of thinking. We still haven't gotten anywhere. So it's like our minds, or their minds, however you feel comfortable, has not really matured yet or evolved yet. It's like the first thing you see, it's like this thing, it just pops up in your mind. We know better now, but back then they didn't. So we can either think of that, and then we move on to Greek mythology, and we have all these mythological creatures. So it's like, okay, either we can go way back there, or it's just like whatever, however you feel comfortable about it. So ancient Egyptian texts, Mesopotamian legal codes, as well as Arabic laws, are fully against the practice of bestiality. So thinking outside of the box, which is, by the way, the name of my channel, think outside the box. It may be gross, it may be ill, but it's like, okay, I mean, if you want to be let in on this type of weird knowledge, then, here it is. So it's like, oh, so we evolved from before Christ. We're moving into Greek mythology, mythological creatures. It does make sense when you think about it. You have all these animal and human creatures that are during this time, right? But just know that once we move forward from that, it's like they knew it's no good. This is not what we're supposed to be doing. So we went over the spirituality part, which again, it breaks off into different cultures as well as different religions. Also, just like a fact, it's like bestiality was associated with foreigners, slaves, or lacking the moral restraint. foreigners and slaves. They lacked education, they lacked all these things. So it's almost like living during that time. So when people say, I don't like to use the term, or like just regular disabilities, or slow and intellectual disabilities, or just not as fast paced as other people, we can think of it like that, but just not that severe, right? Because that was before Christ then. So then we get these type of monstrous births or tragic outcomes, right? So this was reclassified as a profound theological crime against God, against nature, as well as humanity itself. Again, like I said, evolvement is the big thing, evolving and developing and maturing. So when we think about before Christ, it's almost like being a person with some sort of intellectual disability or mental handicap or disability. They didn't know what they were thinking. You can either think of it in that aspect, or, oh my God, it's wizardry. Whatever you feel like thinking. I like to thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to Outside the Box. Stay safe and informed.